Okay, now we're going to talk about simplifying radical expressions with variables. So here we have square root of x squared, y cubed. Okay, now if we break these down, we know that x squared is equal to x times x, and y cubed is y times y times y. Okay, if we simplify that, that breaks to x squared, so that didn't really do anything. But y times y times y simplifies to y squared times y. The reason we want to do this is we break them down to square roots when possible, because the square root of something squared, they cancel each other out. Okay? So in this case, the square root of x squared is just x. The square root of y squared is y. And then we have a y left over right here, which stays underneath the radical. So the square root of x squared y cubed is equal to xy times the square root of y. Okay? Now let's look at one that's a little bit more complicated. Here we have the square root of a to the fourth, b to the sixth, c to the ninth. Okay? A to the fourth breaks down to a squared times a squared. B to the sixth breaks down like this, and c to the ninth breaks down like this. Okay? So if we do some canceling here, the square root of a squared is a, okay, and that happens twice. Square root of b squared is b, so that happens 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. And then for c's, it happens 4 times. And notice we have a single c left over, so it stays in the radical. So if we simplify this here, we get a squared, b cubed, c to the fourth, times the square root of c. Now, I'm going to show you something that may be a little easier for some of you. Okay? This is a great way to do it right here. And this is how MathXL, if you're working on your MathXL homework, is going to show you to do it. Okay? Here's another way to think of it. Okay, square root, we have a 2 here, right? Give a marker to work. Okay, so if we take 4 divided by 2, we get 2. Okay, so a squared. Now we look at our b variable. 6, because it's to the power of 6, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's b cubed. Now, here's the tricky part. 9 isn't divisible by 2, not evenly at least. Okay? So if we go down to the next closest number less than 9, that is divisible by 2, which in this case is 8. Okay? So we would have c to the 8th. So let's change this here. C to the 8th times c. Okay? So then we have 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then we have this c left over, so it stays in the radical. So you notice you get the same answer. So for some people, that might be a little bit easier to think about. Okay?